Ngilana nomkhulu usisho undaba ukwanele usilwa nobumnyama.
Ngithokoze futhi ngibonge ngithi bayede kubo bonke ababukeli be-unpopular opinion. Mina ngusilwa nobumnyama. Ngusilwa nobumnyama sekuzokhanya. Unhlonipho odabula phansi emhlabathini azafinyelela emazulu.
Oh, bayede mkhulu. So mkhulu mina from my personal experience ngikathi ngithatha igift yami or ngivuma idlozi.
Uvuma ukufa kwedlozi.
Yeah. Ukufa mkhulu, death of the ego self.
Okusho ukuthi uyathukwa kwenziwa konke lokho kwenziwa.
Death of the ego self. In order to get to my God self. So mkhulu ngikathi ngivuma idlozi. I started off at church. Like you said, there are processes. So the first place I started was church, where as much as I did not relate to Christianity, there were tools that I learned there on how to connect with self.
Yeah.
And then from there, that's where I guess abantu ke bathi baphakamisa isithunywa. Ngoba bavamisa ukuthi isithunywa, which is the messenger, which is a spirit guide, you evoke or connect to that spirit in church, mostly in this modern world we live in. Back in the day, obviously, from Mandulo, it would have been different. And then and that is the tool, obviously, to then evoke your God self, which I then call idlozi. Which is then spirit, higher consciousness, whatever people like to call it.
Yeah.
And then obviously in there, during that process, in those different processes, njengoba usho ukuthi there are processes like ubuNgomeni where they drink blood, ubugedla where they decide ukuthi bona bavuma bani. What exactly are you agreeing to? What contracts, what soul contract are you taking, are you making? Yes. So in doing that, mkhulu, amagedla ke ukuthi kube igedla mhlambe, let's say uma bekhuluma ngobugedla ukuthi ukuthakatha mkhulu, ngabantu abathwalayo, abantu abahamba bayothatha izinto ngendlela ezingekho right. What is the right way yobugedla? Because there is a right way and there's a wrong way. Like you have mentioned, there's a right way ubugedla and then there's a wrong way ubugedla, because the wrong way ubugedla we have established is ubuthakathi.
Yabona ngabe ngiqamba manga uma ngithi ngiyakududuza ngithi kukhona indlela right njengoba ngithe nje ubugedla buyingozi ngisho nje eqaleni. It's very, very dangerous. Why? It's because if you are a person that prays, if you are told ukuthi ungawuthinta umuthi, so ekuthiwa ungawuthinta umuthi kuzobonakala.
Yes.
Imagine manje usuthinta umuthi, usuthinta namakhanda enkawu, usuthinta amakhanda esikhovu. Yabona nje lawo makhanda ngokuhlukana.
Yeah.
Usukwazi ukuvula inkawu ngaphakathi uthathe yonke into oyithathayo wenze lento oyenzayo ushaya umuntu.
So in the Western world, that would be your scientists, your alchemists.
We can try by all means to say, since now we are living in a modern place, which uthakatha ngendlela ukuthi usiza umuntu athola imoto, athola umsebenzi, sithi ku right, but ukuthakatha ekugcineni into wrong. It doesn't matter ukuthi wena usuyitholile ngendlela ukuthi uzokwenza okuhle.
Yes.
But you've done wrong.
Yes.
Yabo, so ubugedla nje kuyisiphiwo esihle kodwa futhi esimbi ngoba sihamba bese sifakile wane phakathi.
Yebo, yin and yang. So it that, I mean, in my understanding, ubugedla speaks to so above as below, and also in that in every good person there's a darkness, and in every bad person there's a goodness. So
yebo uqinisile. Amagedla akusiza ngani amagedla? Akusiza ngokuthi for instance uyakwazi mhlawumbe ukusebenza as a security and ufuna imali yabona, then bakukhandela something, they'll make something for you ukuthi ihambe nawe eceleni ucele kuyona leyo nto imali. yabona uyiphakela okusho ukuthi now lento isi-operator izidlozi lakho. You've got your ancestors, but now you are given something that operates as your ancestor so that you can get whatever that you want. Which is wrong, because now you're no longer seeking to your ancestor.
You're no longer
that
going
is
to
why
self,
a lot of
you're going to
people
something else.
Are now being confused about science. Yes. So a lot of people will tend to go on trees and just chop them off and use them so that they get the energy.
Yes.
But you'll find they'll go under a tree and pray so that they'll get that energy. So that's where vice versa. A lot of trees are being damaged and then being used at the same time for good purpose. Angisho ukuthi for bad purpose. Nathi umuntu angena ehlathini agaye ihlahla enza konke yabona. But
for living life.
Kwabanye bayibabone for messengers for izithunywa. They see it mostly clean, not for you to chop trees and for you to just go everywhere and mix things. But if you sense that no, now umkhanyakude, that's the tree of the light. Angiye phansi kwalo umkhanyakude ngikhuleke ukuthi no, ngicela ukufana nawe. Yabona angingaphuli impande zakho.
Sustainability. So okay, from what you're saying, ukuthi uma uyisithunywa of which where we learn about uma uzothatha idlozi bathi mele udlule esithunyweni, you need to learn what it is to sustain life and not only to take it. And that's what we do, and that's why umuntu before eyoyenza oyophakamisa idlozi edlula esithunyweni ukuthi you must learn the importance of sustaining life. Yes.
Everything begins with prayer. So it's very much funny and pretty much confusing at the same time. There'll be a lot of people that are bragging on which they are losing things that losing.
Yes.
And then they'll go kulaba basindisiwe uthi khetha ukusindiswa ngigcina i7 commandment njengabantu bakaShembe ngigcina isabatha njengabantu bakaShembe but ngila kulabantu abasindisiwe yabo. So we find ukuthi manje kulabo bantu laba gogo bahamba beze befike le process where the ancestral calling becomes too high kwi-levitation yabo ukuthi mebebonwa abantu babonwa abantu as abantu hlasimpe sekufanele benze umsebenzi yabona. So kunalento le ebiza umuntu ukuthi manje sekufanele asebenzele uNkulunkulu noma sekufanele agcine imithetho yakubo edlozini asebenzele abantu basekhaya. So abanye abantu babalekela ama responsibilities wabo ukuthi no ekhaya kunosiko manje lolo siko selifanele liphathwe mina ngizosiphatha kanjani zonke inkomo zalo muntu wayiphilo ngasekho nayo yonke lento. And then we find ukuthi kunalento ekuthiwa intwaso initiation. So you do not go to initiation if you are not told by your ancestors. You do not go.
What I say,
and then there are places that you go to, and then you find out what you were consulting, and then they'll tell you no, when you must trust, you must do that. Unfortunately, sometimes again, the umuntu athi Twasa ngoba ebona ukuthi uzokwazi ukukhokhela indleko zokuthi wena unedlozi. Yes. Omunye athi Twasa ngoba nake ebona ukuthi hayi cha right unemali la ngisho ukuthi kuzokwenzeka la message izinto yabona. Omunye athi Twasa ngoba nake ebona ukuthi ngeke lo muntu lo right mehle like ngathi good luck charm mangilo ngithinta konke khamba kahle. Omunye vele uTwasa ngoba kusuke kufanele they go to initiation because
there's just certain things you need to learn there. Yes.
But to ilokhunjana i-connection yethu namadlozi yonke le energy esikhona ngoba ubona sekukhona ama light nje lawa khona la ingoba kufanele kukhanyiswe bathina angithi thina sibalela iminyama thina sidark thina ngishathi umuntu uyikhaladi lo muntu umnyama ngebala yabona. So the reason why agcina sekukhandwe nogesi ngoba kufanele kukhanye ukuze thina sibonakale ngoba masingasabonakali banovalo ukuthi lo muntu uzanani. So kuyafana njengasedlozini ukuthi kukhona la kusuke kufanele kwenziweni ukuthi kufaka ugesi khona lo muntu sombona kahle ukuthi lento kade imnyama kahle bese singayiqondi ngoba before kube khona ukukhanya kwakumnyama. That's why ubona isithi yonke ama-city nama-city egcwele ama-lights. Otherwise kwakwenzela ukuthi thina sibonakale because strong ngale ndlela ukuthi
so isithunywa sikhanyisela idlozi.
Impela isithunywa sikhanyisela idlozi ngoba idlozi okhokho bakho So isithunywa suke sekuyingelozi direct from heaven.
Yes.
Direct from ezulwini.
Yes.
Esuke izokulalela uthi nangu umntwana lo uyakhala, or this child has problems or whatever. He or she cannot have a proper conversation or a communication with amadlozi. Ngoba yena akakabikwa noma kunezinto angakangeniswa kusona. Nje mase kuthunyelwa umuntu uthi hamba olalela leya muntu, go listen to that person and then come back with whatever he or she needs. And then ila isithunywa siba kwi-process yokuthi siyaqaqeka ngendlela yaso sikhomba la esifisa ukuthi wena uyakhona. Mostly if you've got isithunywa, a messenger, you are able to go anywhere, you are able to do whatever that you need to do without imithetho eminingi. Isithunywa asibi nalento yabantu abagcina sebesebenzisa impande noma umuthi. Asibe nemigomo eminingi. Isithunywa senza yonke into, you'll do whatever. Ngisho athi ungena endaweni la kuthakathwa khona uphuma ungena nkinga.
Yes, because it just uses spirits. It only uses spirits.
That works alone but guides your ancestors.
Your ancestors.
Njalo.
Yes, because in that's what I have understood. In that izithunywa, which are your messengers, they work with they are the ones that lead you back edlozini, that like almost lights the way for you to your God self, to your higher consciousness.
Kunento futhi ngifisa ukuthi ngiyicacise.
Okay.
Thina njengabantu bakamvela inqangi, thina abantu bemvelo. Ngisho njalo nje thina abantu bemvela ngoba mothi imvela inqangi abantu baba confused. Kufana njengokuthi mothi intwaso abantu baba confused. Yabona ungaze ugcina uphelele sangomeni kanti kwakuthiwa intwaso yentwasa buhlobo nentwasa busika. So thina abantu bakamoya. Kunalento esike siyenze, once you start having dreams.
Yes.
For instance, you'll dream of a snake. You'll dream of a lion, you'll dream of a leopard, you'll dream of a dolphin, you'll dream of a fish. You'll dream of each and every kind of universal animal that you can find. For instance, abantu basedlozini kakhulu, spiritual people that have callings, they mostly dreams of snakes. So I'd say kulabo bantu abaphupha inyoka, those people that are dreaming snakes, they say, I dreamt a yellow and a blue snakes. I think now it's my ancestor. No. Kuyenzeka ukuthi wena umbetho umuntu but izenzo zakhe kwakwezenyoka.
Okay.
And then when it's like, idlozi lami leli. But when you won't find out isikhathi masambo ukuthi hayibo. Yazi abantu abaningi sengibenzela ubunyoka. And ubunyoka bakho bugcina sekukuyisa kuphi?
Underhanded.
Ubunyoka bakho bugcina sebubuyisa kulento ekuthiwa intwasa ngoba wena yonke into oyenzayo wena ubetray abantu noma wena udlala ngabantu.
Okay.
Yabona iqiniso onalo noma unalo. Uyafuna ukuba neqiniso but akwenzeki uyisangoma.
Oh, that's your spirit animal.
That's your spirit animal because sifika ngesimo senyoka but thina njengabantu bedlozi sekufanele sik-overstand. Because if you understand, I should sokufaka ngaphansi. Ngeke siphile nawo. But if unedlozi lenyoka ngiyaphinda kuyabonakala and umhlaba wonke uyakubona. Abantu bakukhomba ukuthi I think you're a snake.
Yes. Like you're very sneaky.
No snake nyana kuthiwa nangu makhosa snake. Yabo omunye unebhubesi yabo thothi mohle naye.
Your presence, you know, because the spirit and the lion is very, you know.
Literally thought usakwazi ukukhuluma nalo muntu because unale spirit sale libhubesi mombuka yabo yonke into akwenzela yona ineqiniso futhi iyaphelela ayifani njengalo mbetho edlozi lenyoka yabona and ngizokusho futhi yebo likhona idlozi elifika ngokwenyoka kodwa watch out for the snake. That's all I can say.
Yes,
because now thina abantu abaningi sigcine sesiphakamisa abantu. Yabo and then we see people so glorified because now they'll tell us hey, we're dreaming of a dolphin man. Hey yabo kushelela njengofish fish.
Yes.
You know but only to find out no akusheleli.
Yes.
You know, that person wasn't dreaming of a fish. Probably he or she was dreaming of a shark. No, must be aware with no, this person is a shark spirit.
Yes.
You know. So now edlozini, ubuNgomeni kakhulu, there are a lot of snake spirits. That's why abantu abama-Christian bebasabe ngoba omunye uyayibona inyoka athi hayi ngeke ngizoyibhekela obale inyoka. So kunabantu namhlanje abangenwe idlozi. Probably some of them have been on a lot of events, been called to different places because now they are glorified as people with an ancestor, strong ancestor. But only to find out it's a strong snake and it has different types of ideas,
how to
camouflage itself.
manipulate.
So, kunalento engicela abantu to always be aware of. Watch out for what you're dreaming and then say that it's yours. There are a lot of people that are too good to be true. And they're dreaming about snakes. And every time it's ancestors, when it's not ancestors, it's them, they're snakes.
Yes.
Sometimes it's them being shown when you've got a snake spirit, as time goes by, you'll be a snake in people.
Yes.
In people's life, you'll be a snake when ubuNgoma.
Yes, because our dreams come from our subconscious. Also, they also come from the astral realm. So at times when we dream, certain things are come to us in a sense, in a way that may not make sense in this world. They sometimes metaphorical.
Yeah.
Sometimes they are literal. Like sometimes you will dream and you see like somebody having a car accident, and literally the next day or the coming weeks, someone will have a car accident. But sometimes you'll have a dream where you are flying, or you see a snake and you think, oh my goodness, what does this mean? I was getting chased by a dog. What does this mean? I dreamt I was eating. What does that mean? And that's something I've also found in spirituality, in African spirituality, that they always tell you, you must be careful of what you dream of, and that your dreams speak volumes.
True.
Yes, they speak a lot as to where you are in life, or what's happening in your life, or what you must look out for. Sometimes they even speak to your future as to what's coming in the next couple of days, or what's happening tomorrow. It's just up to you to sometimes sit and, like I say, introspect. I love to always take it back there, because the one thing that has saved me on this journey is that I take everything everybody has said to me, I look, I learn, but I also introspect. I know, I try and dissect and discern what applies to me and what does not. And even because there are different ways, there are tarot readers in the West, in this today's society. There are tarot readers. You'll find them all over TikTok and everywhere. They try to approach you, where they will always say, take what resonates. So what applies to you is what you should use. And that is the same principle that I found gets used in spirituality, that sometimes does not get used in religion, in my opinion, because in religion it's a one-size-fits-all. Uguti, this is the way it is and there's no other way. But I found, for me, spirituality allows me to evolve. It allows me to take something that I have found here, that I have learned here, but apply it to myself in my way. Same way, like, as much as there is culture, there is tradition, but such things evolve. They evolve with decades, with centuries, because what they used to do in the 80s and the 90s, they don't do now. Things that were kept in the 1900s, BC or wherever, they are not made, they are not done now. Now, sometimes when you honor your ancestors, you just like how now we have spiritual garments, and then we have traditional attire. That's how I'm honoring where I come from. I dress as those who came before me did. I speak as they did. I am as they are, as they were.
Ngiyamukela ngezandla zombili lento adoyisho mntana wamathongo. Ingikhombisa ukuphila. So mangabe ukhuluma ngaleyo ndlela Dlozi, ngizothi mina kunezinye izimo ke futhi ekuye kuhambe umuntu zimfice. Ngokwesintu nangokwenkolo, traditionally and culturally, yabona kusho ukuthi into enziwe esontweni noma uphinde uyenze ekhaya. Ukuba khona la imithetho noma kufika khona la ekutheni sekufanele wenzelwe usiko lasekhaya. Usiko lasekhaya ke ulenzelwa kanjani? Ulenzelwa abantu basekhaya uma uwumntwana ongabikwanga, ngoba kuneyingane ekuthiwa zazalelwe ekhaya kodwa zangabikwa ngendlela ekuyona esibongweni. Ngoba phela indaba yesibongo iyona nto abantu abahleze beyilwela noma belwa ngayo, yabona. So umuntu okwazi ukuthi uvele umenzele usiko noma isinto engekho esibongweni esi-right, kodwa ungamcelela indlela ukuthi azakwazi ukulungisa izinto zasesibongweni. Bese kuba khona la, for instance, where you go for river cleansing, you go with your chickens or you go with your birds, whatever that you call it. for Thanksgiving noma for ukugeza amathunzi amnyama.
Yes.
Ebese kuba khona la umuntu ayakhona entabeni, for instance uyokwenza iladi. Menza iladi, amaladi ahlukene. There were people that had miscarriage, you know, they do peace offering for their children that died noma abantwana abaphuphuma. Ebese kuba khona la kuthiwa khona umuntu osefakwe isiPhandla ekhaya. Uzocela ukuthi angeniswe ekhaya abe ngaphansi kwalesi sibongo noma ngaphansi kosiko lwala ekhaya.
Yes.
Ngobe sekukhishwe imbuzi ukuthi imbuzi injani kuyahlukana ukuthi imbuzi kanjani kushiyana ngesimo somuntu ukuthi usesimene esinjani.
Okay, so when asichazele just very quickly because angizinyazi mina kuthi kunembuzi emhlophe nembuzi emnyama.
Emnyama nembuzi ebrown.
Yes.
So ngizovela ngithi qaphu.
Yeah, just
kule mbuzi emhlophe nje kuqondile ukuthi imbuzi vele leyo kusekwe yasekhaya ukubuyisa izithongo noma amathongo nokungenisa umuntu osuke ezalwe embethwe.
Okay.
Yabona osuke ezalwe embethwe noma enqwambile. Yabona ngoba kuhlukile umntwana mangabe ephuma omunye uphuma thola ukuthi unemiqala yamba kanje, omunye thola ukuthi unemiqalana yabona, omunye thola ukuthi kunento emvalile la asiboni. Yabona ekuthothi fanele imbukulwe leyo nto leyo kuthothi kusetshenziswa leyo mbuzi leyo.
So a way that someone is born is quite significant in differentiating or understanding where or what gift they have spiritually.
True. Others come in a bag.
Yes, an amniotic sac.
Yeah, like you literally be like, it's common.
Yes.
You know, and then when you grow up, you are told that you've got a bag, and then you start being like, it's just a place is common. But till our
yes.
And then we've got this process whereby limbos and a lot of things have been used for witchcraft or ekaya balphendulile. Yabona, so usakwazi ukuvela usukuyongena nento emhlophe. Yabona, usakwazi ukuvela usukuyongena nembuzi emhlophe nje kanjalo egcekeni. But nawe nginento noma nginosuyo sokufanele wenze ngayo lembuzi lemnyama ukuthi idlozi lathwetshula ngoba phela kube kusetshenzwa uma ngabe idlozi laphendulwa lamnyama kwaphenduka izinto yabona. Ebese kuba khona lembuzi ebrown. Eqondene namakhehla ke leke kuthiwa amakhehla asekhaya obaba lapho. Yabona. Na futhi yasebenza gogo but specifically kuthiwa abanumzana. Nayo leyo mbuzi leyo yabuyisa ikhaya kahle ngendlela. Ebese imbuzi ke gogo iba nomsebenzi wayo njengoba yayinawo endulo since way back. I'll ask you a simple question. What makes you think ukuthi bonke labantu abasedlozini kufanele benzelwe izinto zembuzi zenziwe ngayo imbuzi yona into yokuqala leyo? And then I'll ask you ukuthi why don't iy'tolo ey'ningi, like a lot of shops like ShopRite, Checkers Hyper, Woolworths, why don't they have imbuzi? But you'll find that they have pigs, they have cows, they have different types of lecture of animals that you can eat.
Yes, but most goat meat.
But you won't find goats. Why don't you find goats? So, omunye umbuzo lo. And then you'll find ukuthi imbuzi, goats, it was used way back for ancient times, way back before us. Even the white people know which the
queen was at the queen's funeral. They literally had a goat there.
But why don't they sell it?
Yes.
Umbuzo loyo, why don't they sell it? Ngilana ukuthi imbuzi, umsebenzi wembuzi kusuke kwenzela umuntu wasekhaya isinto. Shiya ukuthi abelungu, they are not selling it in the shops. They know why they're not selling it. But here we are. Ukuthi imbuzi ngalesikhathi uza naye ekhaya wenzela umntwana usiko lwako bethi whether lembeleko, whether lokwembula, whether umuntu oshonile emhlabeni, whether ukubonga. Kuhambiselana ukuthi ubonga kanjani. Then leyo mbuzi you use that goat. But imbuzi manje ifika ekhaya egcekeni, you'll recognize ukuthi iyakhala, it makes a sound, it goes meh, and then everybody will come. You know, so when the sign of the goat, when it goes meh, it's calling
all your ancestors.
Every ancestor that used to live here or once lived here.
Yes.
So when they're all coming up here, they'll be like, oh, we're gonna eat it, you know. And then you speak with your ancestors and let them know what to know. The reason why I called you all is because so and 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 so. Whoever that speaks or you speak, you know. And then go back home like Tolo again. We find that in other homes, people are afraid to slaughter, so they'll use umkhonto, which is a spear, you know, a long one, so they don't want to stand close, to slaughtering, they usually stand fire and just poke, and then the animal will fall.
Yes.
You know, because labo bantu basaba ukuchitha igazi, but ekugcineni kumele begcine isintu.
Yes.
Because it's isintu.
Yes.
Yabo. So imbuzi methi, man, all the ancestors are coming. Laba babephuza, oh, yabo, oh, gogo, they all come. Those that used to carry guns, they come with the fire guns, yeah, in the yard. Pow, pow, pow. It's just magic.
Yes.
But in the end, it's how you do that magic for them to find peace.
Yes.
And then there's a thing that is done to imbuzi. Kunendlela ehlinzwa ngakhona. And then ufakwa isiPhandla, nasi isiPhandla. IsiPhandla represents ukuthi wena usumntwana wala ekhaya. It represents that now you are a child here. You know, it represents that us as your family, we've got livestock here at home. We've got cows, we've got everything. We've given you this one livestock to recognize you with umntwana wala ekhaya. Angithi ngane ekhaya yaphiwa
Like a sacrifice and offering.
No, there's a lot of chickens here at home. You can grab anyone that you want. And then you can come so that when you go out, people will recognize that's when umntwana. So the reason for imbuzi ikhala imemeza idalwa bese wena ufaka isiPhandla. One, the reason why you are putting isiPhandla is because amacala.
Yes.
It's amacala ekhaya, which means your ancestors, they had problems, or your ancestors used to use a lot of witchcraft.
Generational curses.
Generational, yeah, injalo nje isingisi nje obusibeka.
Yes.
So leyo nto gogo ebese iba kule ndawo yokuthi imbuzi ke eyamacala. It does not mean ukuthi ngoba ufaka isiPhandla you are now free.
Yes.
You are free, you can do whatever you want. But now it means that you have agreed to your ancestors' sin. And now you also agree to your own sin.
Okay.
You're acknowledging that your ancestors have done wrong, and you are acknowledging that you have done wrong. And now you wish to do right. Because now you can never acknowledge someone's sin. You can never say, mina ngiyovuma idlozi, ngiyovuma izono zedlozi lami, ngiyothwala bonke lobunzima balo yamuntu. But ungakuvumanga okwakho, uqala uvume okwakho before uyovuma komuntu. But mase uvuma kwabantu nakho icala, which means that you are still in courts.
Yes, you have not been judged. Oh.
So la leli cala leli gogo, the reason why usufaka lesi siPhandla uhamba endleleni. Angithi imbuzi uthe uyihlaba yathi me abiza bonke abantu. Usuhamba endleleni nawo ngeke sawubona sibanibani yes. Now I'm an attraction to everyone. Because now I've got what? Purity, which is white. But amacala sekhaya wakopheli because abantu basekhaya babebophana abanye angithi abanye babenza izinto thotha umunye uhambe ethuka usibanibani and ngisafaka leyo nto and when I'm putting my hand up which means I'm still representing them ngisaphakamisa lamacala lawa ukuthi okay ekhaya kwakoniyo so imbuzo yalo ukuthi ngisazi ukuthi nginecala ngisaphakamisa lamacala but into eyenza abantu abaphuma ekuthwaseni ngizoyisho lento umuntu mayephuma ekuthwaseni sothi ufaka iPhandla sifika la yabo wow hamba wayokuthwasa you went to initiation and said yes I agree that my ancestors did wrong and I also did wrong but now we want to do right because now they've got a gift you went for initiation and agreed so manje usuyabuya wena uthi awusaphuphi you're no longer having dreams you're no longer seeing anything. Why? It's because usafaka lento yamacala.
So
if for as long as you still have icala esandleni sakho into zakho zakaqonda so that is why isiPhandla mosifaka kune period osiqoka ngayo there's a certain period abantu bathi sayiphumela so for that period you go back to your altar nomemsamo and then you speak to your ancestors okay we know that you have done wrong we know that the child have done wrong we know that there have been problems like her but now we want to release the child and then
take it all.
They unlock you.
So they
keepabo isiPhandla.
Okay.
Uma besikhipha bona isiPhandla bayashisa they make fire because way back we used to make fire and we used to say kwasuka sukela and then they say TeeCee and then they'll tell you stories from different kind of ages and different kind of race. So we make fire. The reason why we're making fire because those ancestors of fire are still there and still living with us. We're no longer making fire at home.
Burn it. It's a symbol of we are now absolving ourselves. We have now paid our debt.
Yes.
And
so
now
when they make fire, they usually open the gates, the windows, and then
let out
isiPhandla
all the-
lesi. IsiPhandla ezamacala. Angithi usuqaqile. Angithi ukwazile umuntu ke emsamo wathi le ngane
release all those
inamacala.
energies.
Usebuyile emsamo usethi le ngane sengicela ukuyikhipha kulamacala la ekhaya.
Yes, okay.
Thatha lesi siphande sifake emlilweni because it's dust to dust, ashes to ashes.
So mkhulu,
And then
Tina-
when they make fire, sebethi dust to dust, ashes to ashes.
Yes.
They make ash wasekhaya noma umlotha wasekhaya.
yes.
For instance, we've got holy ash.
Yes, holy ash that we use to cleanse.
But thina maZulu
We
sithatha
cleanse.
lesi siphahla lesi and put it in the fire so that we can make our own home ash.
Yeah.
And then siyachela ekhaya. The reason why sichela ekhaya sesenzani ke manje? Sesingenisa ney'dalo.
Yeah.
Because they will smell the smell of fire in imbuzi yabo.
Yeah.
And then uchela ekhaya indlu yonke sebeyangena abantu abadala bayabonga ukuthi hayi siyabonga ukuthi amacala athethiwe nomntwana namqanya.
So all of this is symbolic. It's symbolic. It's very symbolic as to the process in which you are going through and what the action or what you're trying to solve in your journey and what it means or what it speaks to.
But for everyone's journey, it's about unlocking.
Yes.
So for as long as you are locked, for instance,
Putting chains. Yes.
But if kuzoba khona umuntu wasekhaya uthi no, I'm standing up now.
Yes.
Le mfana sengikhathele ukuthi eloke ecela inhlanhla sengicela ukuyomkhumulula le uthi ngimqaqe manje ngithi now you may be free from everything that was done here at home, from all the gossiping or whatever that they were doing.
So what do we use here, Tina? Like, I know with me, let me speak with me, to cleanse myself of, like, let's say if I've been to a lot of places right now, as early in my journey, whereas I'm not really versed on imiti, the specific herbs and everything. I use general household things, like when I want to cleanse myself of bad energies and I've been out and I get home and I feel really heavy. The same thing that they use in spas and what they use in bath salt. I use that, like salt, and I cleanse myself. I take a salt bath. And then there are those people who will say, in order to attract money, you must use cinnamon and bay leaves. You must use to manifest. If you want to protect your money, you put salt in your wallet or in your purse, so that whatever money comes in or goes out, it comes in the way it went out, with pure energy. So it should always have a flow.
So and for then, cleansing, I mean, I'd say because a lot of people are just rushing for a lot of things. You know, they usually see us speaking about cleansing, and then they won't want to go and ask. Situation, because our situations are not the same.
And they don't. Remember, we have different reasons why they are like that.
There's someone who had a miscarriage. There's someone who took the baby out.
Yes.
Who did an abortion. So low cleansing,
it's not going to
be basic go and seek help.
Yes.
It's a must. So go and seek help. But there are other sources that you can use, such as fresh milk, spirits, vinegar, and also onions. You just chop onions, mix all that together, and then leave it for 3 days. And then you can just part maybe every 1 and 2 days, maybe using cold water, so that when you use cold water, you tend to be awake a lot.
Yes.
You know, in that awakened moment.
It's revitalizing. Yes.
Probably you can use sage, just chop sage, like how people used to chop weed when they're smoking. Make it into pieces and then put the sage together, and then fagamanzi corner. Ubili, so you can steam.
Make it a tea or steam with it.
You can put it on something that you can, a lotion or something. You know, a lot of people can do different types of things, and then you can use amapat salt njengobosha.
Yes.
When it's intake to oshi, the rice water, like the rice that you were using to cook. You can take the same water, and then you can take milk, use together, so that you can, you see that your girlfriend is now, moving and shifting a little bit. You just, use the candle for love, the red candle for love, and say, hey, man, they're using the Valentine things, because now there are a lot of things to do to attract your spirit guides.
Yeah.
You can sometimes put, white curtains within your room. Different types of colors you can use to embrace
color psychology works.
The feeling inside, because ibalulekile lento ekhala futhi yabona ukuthi a lot of people are actually waiting on using, but on some things you just have to wear. You can wear a blue dress, you know, to express that nature. You can wear a green dress. It doesn't mean that you manje sekufana ugqoke impahla zesonto, impahla zekereke manje, so that you can be seen as.
Yeah, you must be always.
You can wear anything that is colorful, that you can embrace your energy, you know, because it's about energy embracing at the end of the day. And then we've got abantu engayithi bane power noma bane ability yokuthi, for instance, nali khandlela. Create a candle. You know, when you're in that spiritual mode, when you're trying to give yourself hope, you do everything
that you can think of,
You can take a candle, create, make it into pieces, and then make something to part with. But most important, when you be clean, for you to be clean at all times, at least 3 times a day or 3 days, you must have a tree that you pray under.
Trees
if you can't find a tree, you must at least shower. Because ezinye izinto ayisuke ngomuthi, ezinye izinto ayisuke ngeyiwasho, ezinye izinto zisuka ngamanzi abandayo. Because the purpose of everything of you, for you to be clean, the purpose for you to be clean ukuthi uvuleke la emqondweni. Yabo ngesikhathi ngivula umpompi amanzi ehle ngishaya ekhanda ngiyathi and then sengiyazi ukuthi mangiphuma hayi ngeke.
You're awake now, you're alert.
Yes,
because like I've said, personally, I always say to people, do what feels most authentic to you. I've been told to do a whole lot of things, but when it didn't feel authentic, I did it, but I did it ngokungabaza, and it's that makes what works
you
work.
You can even cleanse yourself with a tea.
Yes.
Have a cup of tea.
Yes.
Put in whatever.
Writing, journaling. It's like the little things that you do to yourself, for yourself.
But if you've lost hope, this is what I suggest. Buy each and every flower you can find in the shop and part with them.
Okay.
That's the beauty I can give you.
Yes.
Get every flower that you can find, put it in your water, and then take a part.
Yeah,
see
because life is spirituality. Spirit is life. I come mkhulu siyabonga ngokushare ulwazi lwakho nawe ngendlela yakho, and for you obviously showing us a different perspective, because obviously opinion is personal. And so what I love to say to people is use discernment and always take what resonates with you. As much as these are just guiding principles, these kind of shows, this kind of information is always just for you to be aware, but not for you to use it as rule or as a thing. No, this is set in stone. It's not set in stone, gunjalo, but there are certain things nakona that are just guiding principles that you can do. So just live. And in living and in being yourself, that's how some things in your life unlock, and some things that you feel you have lost come back to you.
Aye, mina ngizwa abantu bengibiza into engayisho njengamanje ukushibiza nokuphatha intshizi.
Yebo mkhulu.
Civilization eyajika abantu abamnyama.
Yebo mkhulu.
Sizwe angifuni eBabylon mina.
Yebo mkhulu.
Nomfundisi onamanga onamba pulpit obumnyama.
Yebo mkhulu.
Bheka kwi-unpopular opinion seliyashona ilanga.
Yeah.
Vula amasango okuphakama. Liyamemeza lokukhanya.
Bayede emakhosini kuzo zonke izithunywa zakho konke emhlabeni. Thank you. I'm glad I came here. I'm really glad that there are shows like Unpopular Opinion, because when I started my journey, it was shows like these, people's content that are in this particular manner, where I'm able to get information that I need. But it's also quite important to know that there is just not one way of doing things. There are so many different ways, and we don't all relate to things in the same way. So it's quite important to get different perspectives, even on things as sensitive as religion and spirituality. And I love that, because I've discovered that in doing this, we educate people not in one way, but in different ways. And like I said, my brother's favorite saying, there's many ways to skin a cat. All I would love to say to anybody on this journey is that you should always listen to that inner voice. That inner voice is quite important. You do what is authentic to you, because the minute you stray away from self is the minute you are already doing something wrong. And self will tell you, like I said, your gut instinct is your body's way, spirit's way, God's way of telling you when something is not right, or even when it's right, even when it is right, that is your way in which you will know. So be infinite. You are limitless like the universe. And manibe kahle nina nonke emakhaya, all those children, I say to you, fight the good fight. Makwandi, kukhanye, kuvuleke, kube Nkosi. Thokoza. Amako.
Sanibonani ekhaya babukeli nonke. You are tuned with Unpopular Opinion. I'm your guy, Ukwanele Ndaba. Ushanda umthiyana umwela somhlungu malobola mbiza zawo tshana lokonde. Kwesizwe sikasenza khona noDingane ngokusuka ngiswa kwaZulu. eNatali la kushelela khona uFisher Bish. I'm here in Joburg, Josie. Such an honor with Unpopular Opinion with the guys behind the team and everything. Bekukuhle kakhulu yonke into ke yenzeka uma ngabe unovalo. So into engiyifundile ukuthi uma unovalo izinto ziyenzeka. But most important thing ukuthi ngifunde ngesintu, not only about isintu but umuntu ewonkana. Nanokuthi ungamkhomba omunye umuntu ngomuno ebese uyamhlulela yabona. Ngoba ezinye izinto zenzeka ngendlela ongayiqondi. Uyitshena ukuthi impilo imnandi kanti isitha sakho ubone. Ubona okunye kukuhlekela. Ukubiza ngengelosi kanti kuthi lala nje amadimoni. So yona into engifundile most importantly with Unpopular Opinion, nanokuthi ukuphila kukhona. It's not just about spirituality but it's about art as a whole, and nanokuthi impe enkulu ika art. So thina mangabe singafundisani ayikho indlela yaphambili. So ngibonile ke khona ukuthi khona la umuntu obebuya choke khona njengomrapper yabona. But we had to express ourselves. We also had to, explore ukuthi kahle kahle what stands between us and the camera, or what stands between us and umhlaba owonkana. And it's just about experiencing. It's not about having an experience. It's about experiencing, because most experience uyafunda for the moment. I would sekufanele ube nayo yabona. So it was a moment like a Bible. Ukubona ingane uma ifuthi amabheluni zigijima bese ayaqhuma. So bekuyinto kanjalo engifunde ngawo ukuthi uthando lukhona lude. And into engiyifisayo, it's one unity. Within everything that they are doing, Unpopular Opinion, within everyone who's watching. Nabantu abafikayo futhi befike kahle, because that's what I learned about today's episode. If you are approaching someone, approach them beautifully, calmly, soulfully. Ungafuni ukuba mdala kumuntu uma ngabe uqale naye into. Always humble yourself, because in the end you'll always come back. It's like having a calling. Utofuna ukumenyezwa ekhaya uncamela ukumenyezwa abangani bakho, but in the end noma ungarechanga kanani uhamba ubuyele ekhaya. La waqala khona izinto yila ezenzeka khona ngoba saqala khona. Ubonile nawe ukuthi khamba kanjani. So soulfully and peacefully ngingathi mina nje one love, one unity. Abantu bakithi bangathwasi indlela wrong. Kukhona intwasa busika, kukhona intwasa buhlobo.